Okay, we have an application load balancer pointing to a target group. Let's go ahead and confirm that it is running as intended. In this take column, it shows active. It is running as expected. Let's go to the Resource Map tab so we can better detail everything. Here we have the ALB called ALBWP. It has an HTTP port 80 listening agent that has a rule that forwards traffic to the WP lab target group, which has 3 targets. In this case, EC2 instances with WordPress, and they are all healthy. So, if all this is true, let's go to details. Let's copy the DNS URL of this ALB and open it in another browser tab. And as you can see, indeed, it is loading WordPress. And if I refresh several times, notice how the text on the page changes. This means that the ALB is redirecting the traffic to the 3 instances in a uniform way. Now, let's simulate some traffic. To do this, I will open a terminal window, and I will make use of the curl command, which, in turn, will hit the ALB itself. So, I type curl-i, paste the URL, and press enter. Well, what really interests me is this first response, 200 OK. That means it's working as intended. Now, let's go ahead and drive some traffic with a loop. We type the following. Well, this loop is designed to continuously send requests to the load balancer using the curl command. In other words, we are simulating a constant stream of multiple connections or users accessing our WordPress website. So, it looks like everything is working as expected as I'm constantly getting the 200 OK code in the response. Finally, let's look at the metrics on the instances themselves. Let's go back to the AWS console. I'm going to go to my EC2 instances. I'm going to select all 3 instances. And here below, it shows me the metrics in aggregate. So, since we just started driving test traffic on the load balancer, we have little network activity. What I'm going to do is let the test run for at least 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back here in this monitoring section and look at the graphs in more detail. Okay, I've let the test run for a few minutes. Let's refresh the monitoring screen and take a look at the updated monitoring information. So, as the graphs show, the CPU and network utilization on these instances is very, very similar. And this is to be expected, since the application load balancer is monitoring the incoming connections and distributing them equally among these 3 instances. Therefore, we can see that our implementation is well configured. Now, before concluding, I want to do one last test. What would happen if one of these instances fails? Let's put it to the test. I'm going to stop web server 2A. And if I go to load balancers, and then to resource map, down here, if I refresh, notice that there is already one target that is not available. This means that only 2 EC2 instances are receiving traffic. If I go to my website tab and refresh constantly, notice that only web server A and B are serving my website. So, with that, I can consider this demo finished. See you next time.